Kiss World is an amusement park themed entirely around the famous rock band. Two men are doing maintenance on a roller coaster when suddenly a thick cloud of red smoke appears. Out of it emerges the Crimson Witch, demanding to know where the Black Diamond is. When the men fail to answer, her fury explodes and she gives them a terrifying, life-threatening scare. The moment the roller coaster comes to a stop, they sprint straight into the park manager's office to report the appearance of the Crimson Witch. But Mr. Manny just assumes they are overreacting, since after all Kiss World is a park designed to frighten people. However, as soon as the two men leave, the park manager secretly places a call to a group of mystery solvers. Meanwhile, the Mystery Inc. gang is on their way to Kiss World in their brightly decorated mystery machine. They are buzzing with excitement, thrilled at the chance to meet the band Kiss. They have even dressed up as the band members. Before long, Mystery Inc. arrives at the park. But instead of crowds of happy visitors, they are met with guests running away in fear. People whisper about a terrifying witch marked with a red V haunting Kiss World. When Mystery Inc. tries to enter, they are stopped by the head of security, Ms. Domino. This place is off limits, she declares. We came because we got a call asking us to solve a mystery. I don't remember calling anyone. Only then does the gang realize Daphne had lied, as she only wanted to meet her idols, more than that she hoped everyone could finally have a fun day together after all the mysteries they had solved. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy beg to be let in, but their pleading has no effect on such a strict chief of security. So Fred proposes that they sneak inside anyway and solve the case to prove their worth to Domino. At the same time, Mr. Manny scolds Ms. Domino for driving his guests away. Time is running short because tonight is the night of the Kiss concert. Mystery Inc. follows Manny to learn more, while Scooby-Doo and Shaggy wander off on their own to goof around. In the park manager's office, Manny meets with Chip, who is the band's manager. Manny fears that if the show doesn't go on tonight, he will lose Kiss World altogether. But Chip couldn't care less, as concert tours are already making him enormous profits. In fact, Chip secretly hopes tonight's performance will be ruined. At the same time, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are fooling around when they suddenly spot Demon standing nearby. He is one of the four main members of the band Kiss. The moment they see him, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy panic and bolt in fear, only to crash straight into the head of security. Luckily, Mr. Manny shows up just in time to smooth things over. We were only trying to help after hearing there was a mystery that needed solving. But Mystery Inc. never expected that Kiss themselves are also a team of detectives. The only difference is that Kiss specializes in mysteries on a cosmic scale. Starchild, their captain, has the Eye of the Future, and it reveals to him that they will need the help of Mystery Inc. Even though the gang is just a group of kids, the Eye of the Future has never been wrong. After a quick discussion, Kiss agrees to let Mystery Inc. join forces with them in solving the case. The gang is then shown a video recording of the Crimson Witch. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, still as cowardly as ever, immediately hide inside a locker. Fred and Daphne speculate that the witch must be searching for something, but Velma insists that seeing is believing, and suggests they tour Kiss World to investigate further. Demon doesn't mind and excuses himself to grab some food. The moment Scooby-Doo and Shaggy hear the word food, their eyes light up and they trail after him. They watch in awe as Demon breathes fire. Curious about his trick, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy creep closer, only to ruin his meal by accident. And of all the people to annoy, they've angered the grumpiest member of the band, giving the two a fright they won't forget. Meanwhile, Kiss is guiding Mystery Inc. through Kiss World, showing them the thrilling attractions: a blazing fire roller coaster, a high-voltage alley, and other rides made for daring hearts. Later, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy take a break with some ice cream. As they wonder what game to try next, they suddenly come face to face with the Crimson Witch. A foul stench fills the air, followed by a terrifying sound, sending the two running in terror. Not looking where they're going, they stumble right into the park's most dangerous ride, just as the Crimson Witch is about to catch them. They narrowly escape, but Scooby-Doo and Shaggy soon realize she isn't giving up. She chases them relentlessly from the depths of the sea to the shore, but she still has no intention of stopping. To make things worse, she wields the power to control objects. Stuffed rabbits suddenly spring to life, forcing the pair to fight back. Just when they're cornered with no way out, Kiss appears. The four unleash their powers together, overwhelming the Crimson Witch. 4 against 1 leaves her no choice but to flee in humiliation. The moment the battle is over, Kiss vanishes before anyone else can see them. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy dizzy and exhausted, so they collapse unconscious right on the street. The two are quickly rushed into the hospital by the others, and both lying unconscious. Seeing that Scooby-Doo and Shaggy remain unresponsive, Daphne tries offering them a snack bar, and instantly the two spring back to life. Truly, food is the best medicine. Fred asks what happened, and Scooby-Doo and Shaggy immediately begin telling him about the Crimson Witch, along with the strange power of the band Kiss. Velma, however, believes they are only exaggerating their imagination. Suddenly, a woman appears and declares that the mysterious organization is in fact an ally of the Crimson Witch, bringing nothing but disaster and offering no real help. Hearing this, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy tremble like leaves. If you want to know more, then come find me. The band explains that she is the psychic Chikara who works at the Kiss World Park. She is truly gifted, so Spaceman and Velma decide to follow her in hopes of uncovering more information. Demon and Catman are responsible for taking care of Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. Meanwhile, Starchild, Fred and Daphne set off to search for additional clues. Soon Fred discovers traces of red powder and catches sight of Starchild and Daphne flirting. To make matters worse, the two even ask Fred to take a photo for them as a keepsake. Jealousy surges inside him, forcing him to grit his teeth and endure, but he refuses to let his rival have the last laugh. Starchild, unbothered, retaliates by sketching a picture of Fred and Daphne, but with Fred's face hidden. When Fred demands to be redrawn, Starchild paints his face to resemble a monkey. At that moment, Daphne accidentally stumbles upon a secret tunnel. Starchild points out that it looks like a series of doors leading to underground chambers beneath the park, each capable of reaching different areas, including the main stage. Elsewhere, Spaceman and Velma arrive at Chikara's fortune-telling tent. She warns that Velma's ignorance will make everyone pay the price, and that the danger is only growing stronger. She then opens a great book and recounts the origin of the Crimson Witch. Everything began on a Halloween night in another realm. In a cosmic dimension known as Ki Asteria, there a wicked sorceress known as the Crimson Witch summoned a monstrous being called the Destroyer. He spread terror across the lands, but the warriors possessed a weapon known as the Cosmic Power Crystals. Each crystal emitted a musical note that the warriors could wield as power to defeat the Destroyer. Eventually, they sealed all the crystals into a single black diamond, the only key capable of imprisoning the Destroyer. This black diamond was then passed down through generations of music warriors, until it reached the present guardians known as the band Kiss. Velma finds the story strangely familiar, recalling how she once saw the very same diamond during a Kiss tour. What's more, the tale Chikara tells is identical to the poster currently being advertised. Enraged, Chikara expels Velma and Spaceman from her tent. Meanwhile, Fred and Daphne lose track of Starchild. As they search for him, an eerie sound echoes continuously through the halls. Suddenly, the band's manager appears, startling them both, yet the strange sound persists, compelling Fred and Daphne to investigate. The moment they enter a room, a ghostly figure flies toward them, but it turns out to be nothing more than an experiment by the head technician Shandy. Starchild explains that he has scoured everywhere without finding new evidence, which is why he turned to Shandy. She reveals that in recent months the chemical storage has been robbed of many tools, forcing its closure. She alone holds the key and only opens it when absolutely necessary. Spotting an analyzer, Fred immediately wants to test the red powder he discovered at the site where the Crimson Witch had appeared. At the same time, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are helping Catman set up the equipment for the upcoming concert. Neither of them expects the task to be so exhausting, and soon they collapse from fatigue. Seeing this, Catman directs them to some food stored downstairs for guests. But to their horror, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy accidentally come face to face with the Crimson Witch once again. As soon as she lays eyes on Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, she chases after them and demands the black diamond. When they give no answer, the Crimson Witch grows furious and instantly brings the statues of the Kiss band to life. With no other choice, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy hide inside a room, but the moment the door opens, they see only Velma and Daphne. The statues are nowhere to be found. To resolve the question about the black diamond, the band Kiss does not hesitate to reveal it to the mysterying team. Time is running out as the concert is about to begin, and if they fail to capture the Crimson Witch, Kiss World will surely collapse. The moment all four of them place their hands on the box together, the largest black diamond in the world emerges. Fred suggests using it as bait to lure the Crimson Witch, and Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are chosen to play the decoys. Everyone quickly takes their positions to keep watch. Outside, the crowd grows angry, furious that the show has yet to start. Meanwhile, the Crimson Witch appears and chases Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. The two have no option but to run blindly, yet it doesn't take long before she snatches the black diamond from them. Seeing the chance at hand, Fred signals to fire the net gun to trap the Crimson Witch, but as soon as Velma pulls off her mask, the true face beneath is revealed. She never expected the Crimson Witch to be real and hurriedly puts the mask back on. Worse, the witch escapes from the net, forcing the band Kiss to take matters into their own hands. Demon unleashes his attack, but the Crimson Witch dodges with ease. Next, Catman strikes, but she melts into a cloud of smoke. Only when Starchild uses his Eye of the Future does Spaceman land a hit. The Black Diamond falls back into the hands of Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, yet the Crimson Witch still stands. Determined, she plays her trump card, opening a dimensional portal that begins sucking everything inside. The Mystery Inc. gang nearly gets pulled into the vortex, but the band Kiss manages to hold them back, though only briefly. If not for Demon's intervention, everyone would have been lost. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, however, are dragged into the portal along with the Black Diamond. To prevent the witch from keeping it, the band Kiss channels the power of rock and roll, activating the Dynasty Star portal. Their goal is to transform the park's Ferris wheel into a massive gateway to Ki Asteria. The gang watches in stunned silence and mouths agape at the impossible sight. Inside Ki Asteria, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are still desperately fleeing from the Crimson Witch. Not knowing what else to do, they can only run and run, even as the witch relentlessly attacks. Scooby-Doo clenches the Black Diamond tightly in his jaws. Meanwhile, the band manages to catch up with her, yet the Crimson Witch proves far from ordinary, able to strike at Scooby-Doo and Shaggy while simultaneously countering the band's assault. At last, Mystery Inc. manages to rescue Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, but in the struggle, the Black Diamond slips into the hands of the Crimson Witch. With no other option, the band Kiss brings the team into Ki Asteria, though they have already seen many strange wonders. A foreboding sense fills them as they step deeper inside. Soon the band leads them to the Music Warriors. The situation is dire, and everyone must stand together if they hope to save the universe from the Destroyer. They move toward the mountain where the beast is sealed. There they witness the Crimson Witch successfully breaking the seal with the Black Diamond. The band Kiss soars upward to block her, but she manages to reawaken the statues. Starchild quickly takes command. He will face the Crimson Witch alone, while Demon, Catman, and Spaceman return to the ship to protect Mystery Inc. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are cornered, but then recall Demon's advice: swallow your fear and turn it into strength. With that courage, they transform their enemy into nothing more than a roasted chicken. Meanwhile, Starchild was still struggling to take down the Crimson Witch, but she was far too strong and knocks him back over the rocks again and again. Soon the captain of Kiss was pinned against the cliff. Yet Starchild refused to give up as he poured every ounce of his strength into pushing her back. He bought them some time, but in the end she still reached her goal. The other members, seeing their leader in danger, rushed to help, but it was too late as the Destroyer had already begun to rise. All they could do was catch Starchild and watch helplessly as the Crimson Witch escaped. The group gathered quickly to find a way to face the Destroyer. Velma suggested they try using the power of rock and roll. Since the wilder the music, the stronger Kiss would become. Tasks were divided that Kiss would return to Earth to perform their concert, while Mystery Inc. would distract the Destroyer. Meanwhile, the crowd was restless with anticipation, and finally their wish came true. The real Kiss appeared on stage before them. At the same time, Mystery Inc. did their best to stall for as long as possible so the band could charge up with the power of rock and roll. Velma's plan worked because the energy was enough for Kiss to strike down the Destroyer. But Mystery Inc. wasn't as lucky. Their ship was destroyed and they were thrown unconscious into the space portal. Later, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy woke up. Daphne remembered only that they had all fainted at the same moment, while Fred brought back lab results. The red powder he'd found was a chemical that created sensory confusion and hallucinations. Velma guessed much of what they'd seen might have been imagined. But the Crimson Witch is real, and Velma had found the place where the witch hid the Black Diamond. When the Crimson Witch appeared again, it was all part of Fred's plan. Lure her into the room so they could unmask the mystery once and for all. Soon the witch fell into her own trap. Velma pulled off her mask. Just as she suspected, it's none other than Domino, the head of security. She was working for a government defense company specializing in lasers, and what could be more valuable than selling them a Black Diamond? With her position, she had a pass to every room, and while everyone was busy with the concert, she had hidden the diamond there. The mystery was solved at last. Kiss thanked Mystery Inc. deeply. But as the three left, none of them knew that the band would secretly return the Black Diamond to Ki Asteria. Only Scooby-Doo and Shaggy witnessed it, and they chose to keep the secret to themselves.